In today's video, I'll teach you how to articulate the legs of your amigurumi just like I did with my Winnie the Pooh. And I also used exactly the same technique for Piglet. Look how cute it is. You can use the same technique to articulate the arms if you prefer. But for today's video, I will articulate the legs of this big Winnie the Pooh version that can barely fit into the camera, so you can see it better with this bigger version of the amigurumi. But you'll see that the technique is exactly the same and it's not as difficult as it looks like. Let's get it started. So the first thing that we have to do before articulating the legs in our amigurumi is prepare this leg with the inverted magic ring. So that's what I have here. This one is already finished, but I will do this leg with you. So we do the inverted magic ring first. Insert the hook, the needle, I'm sorry, not the hook. You insert the tapestry needle in the middle of the inverted magic ring and you count, let me show it to you, 1, 2, 3 here between rounds 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3. I will insert the tapestry needle here and you pull the thread. You see that when we pull the thread, this part here becomes round. That's exactly what we want. And I left this part a little bit empty. I don't want too much stuff in here. So let's see if they are in the same place. Yeah, they are. They are exactly in the same place here. So now we can leave this part aside. I have 2 big pins here to mark exactly the place that I'm going to attach the legs. So I will leave, sorry for the noise, I will leave the pins here. And let's observe the amigurumi. I know it's quite big. It's so big, I cannot even fit this amigurumi in the video, but you will understand the idea. So just keep in mind that this is the front of the amigurumi and you will only see the body here, okay? So what do we want to do with the legs? The idea is that we will attach the legs here in both sides, okay? They will be attached like this, so they can move freely in the amigurumi, but they will also be safe. That's what we want. So we already have both parts prepared that we will leave here aside, and now we will observe exactly the place that we want to attach in the amigurumi. So first of all, we need to find between each rounds we are going to do that. That's why I got the pins, so we can pin the place that we want to attach in both sides, okay? So let's count. It's so big, my God. Let's count the rounds together. Just so you know, this amigurumi here, it was crocheted from the head to the bottom of the body. This part I did without sewing. I wanted a low sewing pattern with this big guy here, but it will be easier for us if we count from the bottom to the head in order to attach the legs, because otherwise we would have to count like 40, I don't know, but I guess there are more than 40 rounds in this amigurumi. It would be too much, so it's easier for us if we count here. And I decided that I want to attach the legs between rounds 13 and 14 here, from the bottom to the head. So you see that I placed a pin here. I will follow the same round and attach the pins in the other side. Observe if the legs, if the pins, I'm sorry, are well aligned in the side of the amigurumi. In this case, you can see that my amigurumi has a big belly because it's Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is fat. He is a fat bear. So I want to place the legs in the side in a way that I still have his big belly here. And I can see that the nose is right in the middle of the body, in the middle of his belly. Okay, so once you place the pins correctly, you see that they are aligned. In this case, it's not. The nose is a little bit to the right, so let me adjust. That's why I always say that pins are so important. Pins are important for placing things correctly. They are important for sewing. Do not underestimate the power of pins. So you see that now it's really good. The nose is in the middle. I have the pins well placed in the side. That's good. So in order to articulate the legs of my amigurumis like this, and I will also use big buttons like this. I found this one so beautiful and they match the color of Winnie the Pooh shirt. We will use a big tapestry needle like this one. There are lots of different brands in the market. You can buy whichever you find. This one I bought back in Brazil, and it comes with a couple different sizes of tapestry needle. This one is the one that I use the most when I crochet with cotton yarn, but since this is a chenille yarn and it's very big, I will use the biggest tapestry needle in the set. And when we compare with this one that I was using in the beginning to sew, you can see how big this one is. And you will understand why I like to use this one so much. When we articulate the legs, we pass the yarn from one leg to the other side of the amigurumi like this. And the tapestry needle needs to be in a straight line. You cannot do this. You see that it's not straight, it goes down a little bit. You cannot do this. The tapestry needle goes up. It's really important during the articulation of the legs that the tapestry needle passes the amigurumi in a straight line. So again, that's why it's so important to place things correctly with pins, with using the correct tools will help you a lot. So let's start. My yarn is in this stitch here, so I will pass in a stitch, like one stitch right next to it, pull the thread. You can shrink it a little bit because we'll also put the button here, so it doesn't matter. I will insert the tapestry needle exactly in the same place where my pin is, because we know that this is the place that we want our legs to be. So this is the spot. I will insert it here, pass it through the amigurumi to the other side. You see? Let me see if I can focus. Okay, it's exactly in the same place. So now we will remove the pin and pull the thread. You see that it already starts to articulate the leg the way that we want it to be. When you pass the yarn through the other side of the amigurumi, you will insert, the yarn is here, so what you will do, you insert the yarn, the remaining yarn from this leg into this leg here. That's why it's so important to leave a long thread. And this one, the remaining thread from this leg, you will do exactly the same thing. Pass through the amigurumi to the first leg. And you pull it. You can pass the yarn like twice or 3 times from one side to the other. Pull the thread. I do it very carefully because we are using chenille yarn, and although this brand is really good, it does not break that easily. I don't want to pull that hard because I don't want to break the yarn. Usually when we do this with cotton yarn, we do not need to be that careful because you can pull as hard as you can, it will not break. So that's what you have to do here. With this remaining thread, I will pass it through the amigurumi again. We will do it a couple of times. As I said, I will only do it twice because I don't have that much yarn left. And then I will come back to fasten off with you. So you see that I finished the articulation and I don't have that many remaining thread. It's not as much as I wanted to. My bad, but I always say leave a long thread for sewing, leave a long thread, and I didn't do it myself. Well, it was long because I passed the remaining thread of each leg twice from one side to the other, so it was a long thread, enough to be secured, and you see that I can move the legs and it's safe, it's not getting loose when I do that. But now we have to fasten this off. So the way that I do that, again, I will go to the small tapestry needle. We don't need to use the big one anymore. What do I usually do? You pull it a little bit more. You can insert the tapestry needle at any point in your amigurumi, like this. And you tie the invisible knot. This will be a challenge because I don't have enough thread, but we can do it. I will use the crochet hook to tie the knot. You can do it once again. I usually do that twice. Let's do it one more time just to make sure that the knot is safe. You cannot see the knot, I guess. Oh, there is this little ball here, tiny ball. This is the knot. And you put the remaining thread inside the amigurumi. And that's it. I put the knot inside the amigurumi. And this leg is safe. I will now do the same with this side. I have a little bit more yarn in this side. And after you fasten off, you have two options. You can either leave the amigurumi like this because it's cute. It's super, super cute. Or you can also put buttons. I like to place buttons. I think this looks a bit more beautiful and you add a cute detail to the amigurumi. And since we also shrink this part a little bit, we indent when we pull the thread. I don't think this is ugly, but I think it's a bit prettier if we sew a button here, especially this big one because it covers the hole that was created and it also matches the shirt of Winnie the Pooh. And now we have our legs perfectly articulated with this beautiful button here. You can use exactly the same technique that we did in the legs. You can also articulate the arms if you want, and they will both look very cute. Just so you know, this pattern here was part of my monthly reward to my patrons. And if you want to become my patron and join this amazing crochet community, I will love to have you with me. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any tips, tricks, and tutorials that I bring here every week.